So we're going to work through making this cool scene. I'm going to leave it open just as a reference for me to make sure I cover everything. It's a lot of steps. Hard to maybe remember everything I did when I made it. So I'm going to leave it open as a reference to kind of refer back to if I need to do so. What we're going to do, if you don't already have the starter files downloaded, the assets, the pictures, please download those from the class website. And then once you've done so, we're going to create a new document in Photoshop. So open up Photoshop, and we want to create a new document. So let me do that. File, New. I'm going to get this new document window right here. Yours would be something similar. You just want to have the background and stuff, Photoshop behind it. And let's do a art and illustration document. And let's go with 1080p. Right, kind of like Blu-ray resolution. So 1080p at 300 pixels per inch, and we can call this, give it a name as we go. We can call it, oh man, I don't even know what we call that. Might as well just call it selections, I guess, since that's what we're going to be learning. You can call it fantasy scene or something like that. We want to change our color profile, if it's not already done so, to Adobe RGB 1998. Leave everything else the same, 1920, 1080, 300, and RGB. And we're going to click Create. It's going to give us a widescreen blank document. You may notice up here I have this tab open called Selections. You can see I have another tab, which is my reference document. And yours may or may not say 100%. Likely not. That's just how much the canvas is zoomed in on my particular computer, my monitor, right? I have a Retina display MacBook Pro. If you're in my class, you're on the 5K iMac, so yours is going to be probably a different percent. Here's a couple quick shortcuts while we're here. Command 1 gets you to 100%. Command 0 fills the screen, right? Not top to bottom because that would cut it off, but left to right since we're working in landscape mode, right? And by going to Command 0 to fill the screen landscape, right, it's 132%. I can then hit Command 1 to go back out to 100%, and I could do Command minus, Command plus, and that will just kind of magnify my artboard or my canvas. Now we need to open up our assets to get started. We're going to use Bridge to do that. Bridge is a program, a part of the Adobe Creative Cloud, closely associated with Photoshop. It's kind of like a fancy finder. It's a way to browse through Illustrator, Photoshop, pictures, all that type of stuff, and be able to see them visually without having to have that particular program open. So how are we going to do that? We're going to up to File, and we're going to say Browse in Bridge. It's going to take a second. It's got to open up Bridge. I didn't already have it open, but luckily I have a fast computer, so it shouldn't be too bad. Now you can see I have Bridge open. It's opening to my home folder. Yours may or may not. From my home folder, I know that I have these files saved on my desktop. Yours are most likely in your downloads folder. So you want to navigate to your downloads folder. I'm going to navigate to my desktop, and I'm waiting for it to kind of open. First time I'm doing it, it's a little bit slow. And I have something for TUTs, which is short for tutorials, and then I'm working on the selections tutorials, and I have my assets, and you can see these 6 images we're going to use to build our composite landscape out of. I can highlight them all like that, and then I can right click and get a bunch of options, right, including open with Adobe Photoshop, which I'm going to do. You're going to see now I have all these tabs across the top of Photoshop, and it has opened up all of those images or all those assets that we're going to use to create our cool kind of space fantasy scene. That's it for this tutorial. In the next one, we'll start with the selection tools.